What's up guys, Perry from Rockville here, and today I'm going to show you how to set up the master-slave function with your RF wedge par lights. So now let's say you wanted to have control over multiple of these lights but didn't want to set up a DMX controller. You can still do this by using the master-slave function. So first I'm going to want to pick which light I want to have as my master light, so let's go with this one right here. I'm then going to use the red switch here and set it to master mode. Then I'm going to set my second light and any other light I want to have set up to slave mode. Next I'm going to go back to my master light and set up a DMX code to set our lights to. For today I'm going to use the red DMX code. Then I'm going to want to set up the same code to all of my slave lights. You'll then know they're synced when the DMX code light on your master light starts to flash, while the DMX code light on your slave light stays solid. From there I can set the master light to any mode or color and have the slave lights follow. However, I can only do this manually on my master light and can't use the wireless remote to do so. If you did want to use the remote to control all of your lights at once, we do have a workaround for that. You're first going to want to set your master light to RF mode so we can use the remote, which will also throw the master and slave lights at a sync. And from there you can use the wireless remote to set your light to any color or mode. So as soon as you pick a color or mode to set your light to, you can set it back to master mode. And after that your lights are going to resync so that the slave lights do whatever the master lights do. While we're on the topic of the remote, we can use it to control all of the functions for our light. So we can set it to the base colors of red, green, blue, white, amber, or ultraviolet. We can even press this color wheel mode and then use the up and down buttons on the top left corner to switch between all the different colors. We also have different variations of colors that we can activate within this box here. And we can also activate the sound, strobe, pulse, fade, or auto mode. We can use the up and down buttons here to control the brightness of our light, and we can also use the on and off buttons to turn our lights off or back on. This will only affect the bulbs of the lights while the lights themselves are still powered on. Now another cool thing I wanted to show you is how we can set up multiple groups of lights using the master-slave function and the different DMX codes we have available. So let's start with our first group here. I'm going to set one of our lights to master mode and the other one to slave mode. Then I'm going to go back to the master light and set up a DMX code for it to use. For today let's use green and set it to the same DMX code on the slave light. I'm then going to do the same exact thing for the second group of lights here, but use a different DMX code. For this group we'll use the red DMX code. So now I can go to the master light of each group and set them to different modes or colors. And now we have two different groups of lights doing their own thing, with the first group here doing a pulse mode while the other one is doing the strobe. Now we can also sync our lights together by using a DMX cable. So to do that I'm going to take the male end of my DMX cable and plug it into the DMX out of my master light. Then I'm going to take the other end and plug it into the DMX in on the next light. I'm then going to set each light that I want to have as my slave light to the slave mode. Now for this setup we can either set the master light to master mode and manually set the light into any mode or color to have the slave lights follow, or we can set our master light to RF mode and use the wireless remote to control all of our lights at once. So hopefully this showed you guys how easy it is to set up the master-slave function with your RF wedge par lights. But of course if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to reach out to our customer support team through phone or email. As always, I'm Perry from Rockville, and we'll see you guys next time.